The skipper wanted me to be skipper if anything happened to the skipper. And I'm gonna be skipper because that's the way the skipper wanted it.
We all have that one TV show or movie that brings back a flood of memories. For many, Gilligan's Island is one of those classics. But did you know that one of the stars of this beloved show is still with us today, nearing an incredible old age? Hollywood legends like this have seen it all, from the golden days of cinema to the rise of television. They've weathered the ups and downs of fame, leaving a lasting impact on the industry. Join us as we dive into the life of some of the oldest living iconic actors and see how they're living now. Sophia Lauren, 89. Sophia Lauren is undeniably an icon of the golden age of Hollywood, who is now 89 years old and still going strong. Born Sofia Villani Ciccoloni on September 20, 1934 in Rome, Lauren had a tough start in life. Raised in poverty-stricken Naples by her unmarried mother, her early years were far from glamorous. Yet even as a young girl, Lauren's beauty stood out. At 16, her mother began entering her in beauty pageants, where Lauren's striking looks caught the attention of film producer Carlo Ponti. Ponti saw her potential and became both her mentor and later her husband. He started by giving her small roles in Italian films, but it wasn't long before Lauren made a big splash. Her breakthrough came with a role in The Gold of Naples, directed by Vittorio De Sica. Then, in 1956, she made her Hollywood debut in The Pride and the Passion, captivating American audiences. Throughout her career, Lauren has shown incredible versatility, starring in both comedies and dramas. She was nominated for an Academy Award for Marriage Italian Style and won Best Actress for her powerful performance in Two Women. Recognized by the American Film Institute as one of the greatest film stars, Lauren remains a beloved figure who continues to inspire with her talent and timeless elegance. Tina Louise, 90. Tina Louise, the last remaining cast member of Gilligan's Island, recently celebrated her 90th birthday on February 11, 2024. Louise played Ginger Grant, famously described in the show's theme song as the movie star. Ginger wasn't just a pretty face on the island. She was smart, confident, and could do it all, from chatting about Hollywood to dishing out beauty advice. There were even hints of a romance between Ginger and the professor, adding a touch of mystery to her character. But before Gilligan's Island, Tina Louise had already made waves in Hollywood. She got her start in the 1958 drama God's Little Acre, earning a Golden Globe nomination. From there, she went on to play a variety of roles like the poet Sappho in The Warrior Empress and appeared in the spy comedy The Wrecking Crew. But Louise's talents didn't stop there. She continued to shine with memorable performances, such as in the cult classic The Stepford Wives in 1975. Now, unlike many actors, Louise didn't let her Gilligan's Island fame define her career. She didn't return for the later TV movies, wanting to avoid being typecast as Ginger. Still, she always loved the role and appreciated the fame it brought her. Today, at 90, Tina Louise remains a cherished star, and her story continues to captivate fans across generations. James Earl Jones, 93. James Earl Jones is best known as the deep, powerful voice of Darth Vader. But his journey to that iconic role was far from easy. Born in Mississippi in 1931, Jones had a tough childhood. His father left before he was born, and he was raised by different family members. Eventually, his family settled in Michigan, but the stress of it all caused the young Jones to develop a severe stutter. He's spoken openly about how hard those early years were. Jones even said he found it easier to talk to the animals on the farm than to other kids. Stuttering is painful, he shared, recalling how his classmates would laugh when he tried to speak. It was this stutter that eventually led him to acting. He realized how powerful the spoken word could be, even if he struggled with it. When his father finally came back into his life, he encouraged Jones with a simple but life-changing sentence: "You can act." Those 3 words set Jones on his path. Over time, he overcame his stutter and became a celebrated actor with an incredible career on stage and screen, proving that sometimes the most remarkable voices come from the most unlikely beginnings. Tippy Hedren, 94. Tippy Hedren, at 94 years old, is still remembered as the ultimate cool blonde of Alfred Hitchcock's movies. Born in Minnesota in 1930, Hedren started out as a model before moving to California. After her divorce from actor Peter Griffith, she found herself doing commercial work. It was through these ads that Hedren caught the eye of Hitchcock himself, who offered her a 7-year contract and the lead role in his film, The Birds. That should have been the beginning of a great Hollywood career, but it wasn't. Hitchcock, known for his thrillers, was also known for his controlling behavior. He began to bully and harass Hedren, trying to force her into an inappropriate relationship. When she refused, he threatened to ruin her career. Hedren stood her ground and told him to do what he wanted. Sadly, he did just that. Hitchcock kept her under contract, blocking her from getting any major roles for years. It wasn't until 1967, 3 years after Marnie, that she finally got another significant film role. Despite these struggles, Hedren found new success on television and became a fierce animal rights advocate. She passed her strength and determination to the next generations, as both her daughter Melanie Griffith and granddaughter Dakota Johnson became famous actresses in their own right. Gene Hackman, 94. This actor, who is also 94, is a true example of how grit and determination can change a life. Born in 1930, Gene Hackman's early years were tough. When he was just 13, his father left the family, driving away without looking back. It was a rough start that led to some rebellious years filled with trouble. After a while, Hackman decided to join the Marines, hoping to find some direction. But after 4.5 years of service, a motorcycle accident put an end to his military dreams just before the Korean War. At 26, with no clear path, Hackman took a risk. He listened to his new wife and enrolled in acting school. It wasn't easy. He was voted least likely to succeed by his classmates and made few friends. But he did find one ally, Dustin Hoffman. The two bonded over their mutual struggles and shared determination. They both decided to prove their critics wrong. Hackman's big break came late by Hollywood standards. He was 41 when he starred in The French Connection, a role he almost didn't get. But his performance was unforgettable, and it turned his career around. Over the next 6 decades, Hackman became one of Hollywood's most respected actors, winning 2 Academy Awards, 2 BAFTAs, 4 Golden Globes, a Screen Actors Guild Award, and the Silver Bear. Hackman's story proves that it's never too late to make it, no matter how many obstacles are in your way. Clint Eastwood, 94. Clint Eastwood is 94 and still going strong. Born in 1930, Eastwood became a star with 2 iconic roles: the mysterious man with no name in Sergio Leone's Dollars trilogy, and the tough cop Harry Callahan in the Dirty Harry films. But he wasn't just content being in front of the camera. Eastwood became a successful director too, winning multiple Academy Awards for movies like Unforgiven and $1 Million Baby. Many thought Eastwood might retire after 2021's Western Cry Macho, but he wasn't satisfied with how that film was received. Instead, he decided to direct one last film, Juror Num 2, hoping to end his career on a high note. Eastwood's passion for movies has clearly been passed down to his children, Scott, Allison, and Francesca, who all became actors. But even they would admit it's tough to match the heights their father reached. Robert Wagner, 94. Robert Wagner is one of those actors who truly embodies the glamour of old Hollywood. Born in 1930, he got his big break when the great Spencer Tracy saw his potential and cast him in movies like Broken Lance and The Mountain. Wagner built a solid career in Hollywood, but his biggest fame came from TV. In Heart to Heart, Wagner played Jonathan Hart, a wealthy detective solving crimes with his wife Jennifer, played by Stephanie Powers. The show made them television legends, and fans couldn't get enough of their on-screen chemistry. But Wagner's life hasn't been without its share of drama. In 1981, his ex-wife Natalie Wood drowned in what was officially called an accident. However, questions still remain. The boat's captain claimed that Wagner pushed Wood and tried to cover it up. Wagner has always denied any involvement, saying it was a tragic accident. Despite the controversy, Wagner continues to be remembered for his charm and talent. At 94, he's still a symbol of the golden age of Hollywood, with a story that keeps people talking. Paul Dooley, 96. They say you can't teach an old dog new tricks, but Paul Dooley is proving that wrong. This 96-year-old actor, born in 1928, has a career that spans back to the 1950s when he started in New York theater groups. But Dooley is much more than just an actor. He's an artist, too, showcasing his paintings and drawings on his personal website, where he also talks about his autobiography and some of his memorable roles. Dooley has played many characters over the years, like the stern father in Breaking Away and a softer, more relatable dad in 16 Candles. He was Wimpy in Popeye and the patriarch in Robert Altman's A Wedding. But his career has also been a family affair. In 2013, he performed alongside his wife, Winnie Holtzman, who co-wrote the Broadway hit Wicked in a play they wrote together called Assisted Living. It was the first time they took the stage together, each playing two different roles. William Daniels, 97. When you think of William Daniels, you might recall Mr. Feeney from Boy Meets World, the wise teacher many grew up watching in the 1990s. But there's so much more to this talented actor. Born on March 31, 1927, Daniels has had a career that spans decades and includes many unforgettable roles. He's best known for playing Dr. Mark Craig on the drama series Saint Elsewhere, a part that won him 2 Primetime Emmy Awards. What you may not know is that Daniels has a unique claim to fame in American television. He's the only actor who has ever played 3 members of the famous Addams family, one of America's most prominent political dynasties. His journey in acting began with his sister on the Nick Kenny children's show on radio. He then went on to make a name for himself on stage, even appearing in the original production of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. But it was his role as John Adams in the Broadway musical 1,776 Inches that really brought him into the spotlight. Despite a rocky start, where he showed up to the wrong theater for auditions, Daniels gave it his all and won the role of the founding father. Hollywood loved his performance so much that they had him reprise the role for the 1972 film version. But Daniels didn't pause. Just a few years later, he played John Quincy Adams, John Adams' son, in the PBS miniseries The Addams Chronicles. And then he took on the role of Samuel Adams in a TV movie. With a wink and a grin, Daniels once joked, "I've cornered the market on acting as famous Adamses, all except family matriarch Abigail." Now at 97, Daniels says he's enjoying the simpler things in life. He told Forbes he's taking it easy, spending time with his wife, Bonnie Bartlett, visiting fan conventions, and staying in touch with his Boy Meets World co-stars. Lee Grant, 98-ish. Well, not every Hollywood star reveals their true age, and Lee Grant is one of them. Known to have been born on Halloween sometime in the mid-1920s, Grant has kept people guessing about her exact age, but she's definitely in her late 90s. Her story is as mysterious as her age. She started in the New York theater scene, dreaming of Hollywood, but not quite believing it was within reach. That all changed in 1951 when she brought a stage role to life in the movie Detective Story. The performance earned her an Oscar nomination and the Cannes Film Festival Best Actress prize. It seemed like her big break, but things took a sharp turn. When her husband was called before the House Un-American Activities Committee, Grant refused to testify, and that decision led to her being blacklisted from Hollywood. For a decade, she could only get small TV roles, and her career seemed all but over. But Grant wasn't one to give up. In the 1970s, she made a comeback, and since the 1980s, her focus has been behind the camera, directing both fiction and documentary films. Her directorial debut, Tell Me a Riddle, in 1980 marked a new chapter in her career. Reflecting on her long journey, Grant remains an example of resilience and courage in Hollywood. Mel Brooks, 98. Did you know that one of the funniest men alive, Mel Brooks, is 98 years old and still going strong? Born on June 28, 1926 in Brooklyn, New York, Mel Brooks grew up with a talent for making people laugh. By high school, he was already showing off his skills as a pianist, drummer, and mimic, learning from the great Buddy Rich. After serving in World War II, Brooks found his footing in the Catskills, where he performed as a comedian and entertainer. It wasn't long before his big break arrived on television as the co-creator of the hit show Get Smart. But Brooks didn't stop there. His first movie, The Producers, which he both wrote and directed, didn't do well at first. Critics weren't impressed and it flopped at the box office. But there was something special about that film, and eventually, it became a cult classic. It even won him an Academy Award for Best Screenplay and was later adapted into a hit Broadway musical. And so Brooks went on to create some of the best-known parody films in history. From Robin Hood, Men in Tights, and Spaceballs to Young Frankenstein, he knew how to make people laugh. And he wasn't afraid to try something different. He started his own production company, Brooks Films, to produce more serious movies like The Elephant Man. Brooks shared much of his journey with his great friend and fellow comedian Carl Reiner. The two, along with their wives Anne Bancroft and Estelle Reiner, were inseparable. They worked together, laughed together, and remained close until Reiner's passing in 2020. Even in their 90s, Brooks and Reiner met almost every day, trading jokes and stories about life, entertainment, and politics. Mel Brooks has lived a full and extraordinary life, and he's still bringing joy to the world at 98. Dick Van Dyke, 98. Now we all know the name Dick Van Dyke, a dancer, comedian, and actor who is still charming audiences at 98 years old. Born on December 13, 1925 in West Plains, Missouri, Van Dyke first served in World War II before starting his career. He tried his hand at different roles, even hosting game shows, but his big break came on Broadway in Bye Bye Birdie. The role earned him a Tony Award, and he later starred in the film version too. After his success on Broadway, Carl Reiner saw something special in Van Dyke and asked him to star in a new TV show based on Reiner's life as a comedy writer. That show became The Dick Van Dyke Show, a hit that helped launch the careers of other stars like Mary Tyler Moore and Maury Amsterdam. Van Dyke didn't just stop at television. He went on to star in beloved movies like Mary Poppins and Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Sure, his Cockney accent in Mary Poppins wasn't perfect, and critics didn't hold back. But his performance as Bert, the lovable chimney sweep, became one of his most loved roles. Van Dyke is still acting today. You might have seen him in recent films like Night at the Museum or Mary Poppins Returns. At 98, Dick Van Dyke is living proof that age is just a number. He's danced, laughed, and performed his way into our hearts. Eva Marie Saint, 100. Whether it's classic Hollywood or modern cinema, Eva Marie Saint remains a name that lights up the screen, even at 100 years old. Born on July 4, 1924, she is now the oldest living Academy Award winner. She took on this title after the legendary Olivia de Havilland passed away in 2020 at the age of 104. Saint's journey to the big screen began right after she graduated from Bowling Green State University in 1946. She headed to New York City, where she worked in radio and took classes at the Actors Studio, always aiming for something bigger. It didn't take long for Hollywood to notice her. She first made waves in the TV, film, and Broadway versions of The Trip to Bountiful. But her true breakthrough came when she landed the role in On the Waterfront, a film that earned her the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress. For years, she was often cast as the sweet, innocent character with her long blonde hair. But Eva Marie Saint was not one to be typecast. Alfred Hitchcock saw a different side of her and cast her as a cool, mysterious spy in North by Northwest. She cut her hair short, changed her image, and stunned audiences with her versatility. Though her work on the big screen slowed down after the 1960s, Saint found new opportunities in TV movies. Even today, she's still making her mark. One of her recent roles was in the popular cartoon series The Legend of Korra, where she lent her voice to a key character. Even today, Eva Marie Saint continues to inspire audiences with her grace and talent. Karen Marsh Doll, 105. While The Wizard of Oz remains a beloved classic, many are unaware of a key player behind the scenes, Karen Marsh Doll, Judy Garland's stand-in. Born on April 6, 1919, Marsh Doll always dreamed of becoming a dancer. She graduated from Hollywood High School and dove straight into the world of auditions. Her persistence paid off when she made it into the 1937 film Rosalie. 2 years later, she was walking down the yellow brick road with her own pair of ruby slippers. But her career wasn't all smooth sailing. In 1949, Karen was one of 48 passengers on a flight that crashed outside Los Angeles. The accident was devastating, and only 13 people survived. Karen was one of them. Her foot was badly crushed, and doctors said it might need to be amputated. But Karen had other plans. She fought hard and eventually walked again. Although she couldn't continue her career as a professional dancer, she didn't let that stop her from living a full life. She taught dance, appeared at festivals for The Wizard of Oz, and volunteered. Reflecting on her life, she once said, "I was so thankful to just be alive. Things that bothered me before, nothing." At 105, Karen Marsh Doll has shown us all that true strength comes from the spirit. These Hollywood veterans show that age is no barrier to creativity, and each has a story that continues to captivate audiences today. Who stands out as your favorite among these legends, and why? Is it their iconic roles that left a mark on you, or perhaps their unique personalities? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more shocking stories.